Biden just revealed that he has a big plan that could thwart the Trump administration before it even gets started. Dark Brandon is back, baby. But before we get into that, I want to just talk about something that I think is really important that the media is overlooking. And that is, remember this, there's the Washington Post reporting on when the Washington Post lost 250,000 subscribers because the Washington Post failed to endorse a candidate because the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos, a billionaire who wanted to be subservient to Trump before Trump was even elected to make sure that Trump didn't go after him or his businesses when Trump became president. And Jeff Bezos is not backing down from this position. I kind of personally believe billionaires should stay out of editorial rooms and should stay out of the decisions that newspapers have to make. But I think billionaires got smart and they said to themselves, well, if we can't control the coverage, let's just buy the coverage. So here's Jeff Bezos being what I think is extremely naive. I think Jeff Bezos is being extremely naive. Here he is. Jeff Bezos says that it's incumbent on the media to persuade Trump that press is not the enemy. And this ties into what Biden is doing too, because they're totally different, in my opinion, strategies. So Jeff Bezos said, quote, I'm going to try and talk Trump out of the idea that Trump thinks that the mainstream media is the enemy of the people. He said, quote, I don't think the press is the enemy. He went on to say, this is what got me. You've probably grown in the last few years. He was saying this to the reporter. He has too. Let's just stop there for a second. Do you think Donald Trump has changed in the past 2 years? I think personally, if anything, he's like, holy shit, I did a coup. I lied about the election. I said the worst things imaginable about the most vulnerable people among us. I have attacked my political opponents using racism, misogyny, bigotry, and I have been handsomely rewarded for all of it. I've not been faced one consequence. I think the only thing he has learned is that he can get away with anything. Absolutely no growth has gone through Donald Trump's head at all. And let's just make an analogy. Imagine if you're raising a child and the child never faces repercussions for awful behavior. Does that child just magically grow? No. So, but Jeff Bezos is naive as hell. But he goes on, let's go persuade him of this, that the enemy is, the press is not the enemy of the people. I don't think he's going to see it in the same way, but maybe I'll be wrong. I think you're going to be wrong. He went on to say that he thinks that Trump is calmer and he's more confident and settled. What? Oh my gosh. So this is the delusion of a man who doesn't know what he's talking about and is just desperate, in my opinion, to try to make sure his businesses stay out of the FBI and the weaponized justice system that Trump is about to impart on all of us. And I just got to say this too, is that, you know, I am sick of the most powerful people in the world becoming subservient to the worst among us. And I just know personally that I will not ever comply to Donald Trump. This YouTube channel is staying up for as long as I can. And if Donald Trump starts to crack down on people who start to say things that point out his lies and actually speak the truth, I'm going to do everything I can to keep this channel going, unlike Jeff Bezos, who folded before the election even happened. It would be my privilege to be attacked by the Trump administration. It would mean that I'm doing something correct. All right, and then Biden is taking a different approach to Trump. Biden is saying, all right, I'm going to take this man seriously. He's obviously insane, and we need to do everything we can to stop him. So, and I really want to hear what you think about this. I mentioned this in a video yesterday, but Biden is saying that he is discussing with his White House counsel preemptive pardons for the people that Donald Trump said he's going to go after. Now, preemptive pardons, a lot of people talk about this and they say preemptive pardon is when you're basically saying, I'm pardoning you for any crimes you may or may not have committed. And there is a precedent for this. This is what Gerald Ford did for Richard Nixon. The difference is that Richard Nixon, no one ever went to the courts and said, is this legally sound? It's never been tested in court. But I feel like tested in court, make them have to work to fight Liz Cheney, for them to have to go after Anthony Fauci, fight them and let them, drag it out, baby. This is how you drag it out. So I think it's smart. Let's read. President Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons to a range of current and former public officials who could be targeted with President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House, according to senior Democrats familiar with the discussions. It goes on. These are the people that are thinking about naming: Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, and Anthony Fauci. I would love to know who you think else he should go after. I mean, Olivia Troy, who I mentioned yesterday, said that she would consider a pardon even though she thinks she did nothing wrong. I do think that if they're going to issue pardons, I think this is how this works anyway. They should reach out to folks beforehand and make sure that's something they want. Like, I don't even know if Liz Cheney would accept a pardon. Would you accept a pardon? I'm trying to think if I would. I don't know. I don't know what I would do in their situation. Because it is basically buying into the narrative that they've done something, but it also is giving you a shield from being prosecuted or having the weaponized justice system and FBI being used against you. So it is quite an interesting situation that we're in. But I think it's so smart that President Biden is considering this. And I got to say, if he pardoned Hunter, which I think he was well within his right to do, because clearly that was a politicized trial, an investigation. And, if FBI Director Kash Patel happens, they would have went after Hunter even longer. So I think it is smart of the Biden administration that they are really considering this. I do hope they do it. And whether or not Liz Cheney or Adam Schiff or anyone else wants to accept these pardons, fine. But anyone who wants a pardon, who Donald Trump may go after, should 100% get a pardon. And then they can take it to court and see if preemptive pardons even have any legal standing. And if they don't, what I love about this is then that takes away the power of Donald Trump to be able to do that when he's in office. So let me know if you think this is a good idea. I'm not against it. In fact, I've been tweeting about it for the past week, saying that this is something he should be doing. In fact, I've probably been tweeting about it a little bit longer, but I'm glad that they're thinking about it. It's smart. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit like in the video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much.